So right now you have Bernie Sanders, who's trying to push for the $3.5 trillion budget plan. Now Sanders is blaming the media now because he thinks that the media is not educating people on this big spending bill. Now Bernie Sanders is a big socialist, and he wants to just take money, borrow it, print it, and then just hand it out. And right now he wants to get a $3.5 trillion budget plan put aside to try to get more programs set out. Now, if Bernie Sanders had his way, he would just write a $10 trillion check and get it out there. He thinks that the media is not doing a good job of really offering the benefits to his program. And anytime you see programs where you print more money and you add more to the debt, all that does is just rise. The prices continue to rise. So you'll see home prices rise. You'll see food prices rise. You go to the grocery store, you're paying more. That is the side effect of all this printing of this money. And he would love to just print so much money. Now, in this new budget plan, is possibly going to get a fourth stimulus check. There is a support act in the House of Representatives right now that are trying to get a $1,200 monthly payment going out. The American Families Plan, inside of this plan, looks like it'll pass in this budget, and what that'll do is extend out a lot of the programs that are happening right now. You'll have the child tax credit, which is going to be extended out through the year 2025. That's going to be more money for those that do have dependents, children. The Social Security is going to be bumped up. The payments are going to be going up by 5.6%. Now the inflation right now is at 11 or 10%. It's going crazy. They're just printing, spending, and they're just going absolutely insane with all of this printing of the dollars. But what this is going to do is all this money that's being printed is going to just devalue the currency so much. So I do try to encourage people, if you can, pick up some gold coins, pick up some silver, maybe some crypto. It's going to help you hold the value of your wealth. So if you go to work and you trade your time for labor and you get a dollar bill in exchange for that time, that is value that you've created. Now that value should be not debased by the currency that they're printing right now. And leaving it inside of a bank, it debases the currency so bad that's why inflation is going through the roof. Also, Social Security, they're trying to push for another $1,400 payment, possibly getting that out to another stimulus check. That's on top of raising up the payments for Social Security. Now, all these benefits, the government has to continue to increase these budget plans. So right now it's $5 trillion. In a year from now it could be $10 trillion, $15 trillion. At some point, government's going to have to figure out, we can't just continue to borrow and spend, and definitely borrow and spend more money than they even bring in. That's why I like local city governments. They're the ones that have to budget their budget. They can only use what money they bring in through sales taxes and property taxes. I think that is the formula that the federal government should be taking right now versus just printing out so much money and borrowing it from the Federal Reserve. Now going forward, I do think the Federal Reserve, who is the one that prints all the money, is going to bypass Congress. They're going to bypass the banks, and they're going to go straight to the people. They're going to give them a FedNow coin. They're going to say, okay, go spend this money within the next couple of weeks. If you don't, we're going to take it back. That would get the velocity of money turning. That would stimulate the economy, but that would create so much inflation. It would just be crazy. They're going to have to give you $10,000 every month just because of the fact that prices are going to go through the roof when they do that. But Bernie Sanders, he looks like he's going to push for it. Nancy Pelosi, they're going to try to push for this new budget plan. They did raise the debt ceiling up $480 billion to get the debt ceiling up so they could spend more money or at least keep the lights on in the federal government. But they're going to have to come back in December, and they're going to have to rework this whole debt ceiling thing to try to raise it up again. And if they add another $5 trillion onto the budget right now, then that's going to just increase the debt ceiling that they're going to have to raise up. Now Biden says that this plan is going to cost zero money to the government. That's not true. They're going to have to borrow and tax it. I mean, they're going to have to tax more people in order to get that money. And if you tax people so much, they're just going to take their business, they're just going to take themselves somewhere else. And that's not good for Americans. That's not good for America if businesses go and they take off and go someplace else. One of the things I really like are these petitions that are happening right now, these petitions that are asking for a monthly payment. So it says the reluctance of the government has made the citizens restless. This has resulted in several petitions being initiated. All the petitions propose extra cash from the federal government. One of this, out of the petition, a couple of them have gone particularly viral. The ones initiated by Representative Ilhan Omar and Stephanie Bonin have grabbed significant attention. The petition launched by Stephanie Bonin asked for a $2,000 monthly payment for everyone. In recent statement, Bonin stated that $1,000 worth of child tax credit stimulus checks should be made permanent for the children. Omar's petition calls for $1,200 stimulus checks to be provided to the adults. The children should be given a sum of $600, with the medium income slumping to $6,521, and all these petitions gaining mass. The government is under serious heat. Well, you know, the government's under serious heat to do this, but the government's going to have to create this money somehow. They're going to have to borrow this from the Fed. They're going to have to go out there and tax a ton of people. That's, you know, I get it that, you know, a lot of these Omar, a lot of these Democrats, progressives, they want to help the people, and I get it. They want to go out there and help the people, but you have to realize that if they really wanted to help the people, they would take the dollar and make it a lot more valuable. By printing and borrowing and taxing, all it does is just devalues the currency even more. That results in a hyperinflation. That results in a place like Venezuela or Weimar Germany back in the early 20s. So that's not good. That's why I'm always encouraging people to go out there, encouraging you to get some type of crypto, get some type of gold and silver. Just try to hold that value that you have right now, because it's $20 20 years ago doesn't buy you very much that $20 today buys. Okay, so you bought a lot more with $20 20 years ago. So some of the states are taking that money that they got from the federal government, $400 billion was given to the states. They're taking some of that money and they're giving it back to people in the state. So you have Texas, that is $2,000 payments are going out to try to get teachers back to work in Texas. Those are different cities, like Irvine is paying that. Tennessee has a bill to give teachers more money. A lot of these states are giving the money back to teachers just because of the fact that there is a huge teachers union group that is putting a lot of pressure on these governors in each of these states. Now, I think the governors in each of these states that close down their business or force these businesses to shut down, I think they have to come out and really support these businesses, and they have to get more money to these businesses to keep them open. Now, New York has $2.1 billion set aside for a workers' fund. Inside of New York City, there's going to be $5,000 that's going to be going out to artists. I don't know why they're singling out artists in New York City. Also, there's going to be more money to cab drivers, and also more money for the homeless in New York City. New Mexico, they're spending $5 million of the $1.8 billion they received. There's going to be $750 checks going out to people in New Mexico. Michigan is another state. Georgia, they're going to be sending out payments to teachers in that area. Florida is one of the states that I liked. They were sending out checks to teachers, but also to frontline workers, EMTs, everybody from in that area are going to be getting a check. So for 175,000 full-time public teachers and more than 3,600 public school principals across Florida, $1,000 bonus checks are arriving in the mail as a token of appreciation for their dedication to educating our children. Okay, that's great. I mean, I think there's a lot of people, other people that should benefit from that. Connecticut and Arizona, these are two states that are going to be incentivizing people to go back to work, if you can believe it. That, to me, is a great stimulus. Get people back to work and let them go back, get them back into the economy. Just handing out checks. It's great for handing out checks. You can take it and you can go invest it, and it's good if you invest that money. But if you incentivize people to go back to work, that's going to really stimulate the economy, because we need service work, we need manufacturing back, we need entrepreneurs out there creating new jobs for people. That's what's most important. That's where these governors could take that money and spend it the right way. Like California, they're just going to be giving out $600 payments to people that make less than $75,000 a year. And then they're also giving out $500 for dependents. Again, California is one of the states that has billions of dollars that was sent from the federal government and given to them, and they're going to take that and just hand them out to people in that area. Like I said, Arizona is going to have this back to work program. They're giving out $2,000 for people that find work, and then I think part-time you get maybe a $1,000 check on that. But they're trying to take these vacancies. There's about 11 million vacancies in the United States right now. Last September there was only 194,000 that were added. So if the Arizona says, hey, we're going to give you money, go back to work, they're going to get their economies going again. They're going to definitely see an increase in their state of Arizona. And then some of the other states, eventually they're going to start to get some more stimulus checks out there. So if you do have a state governor or legislative, let them know that they have money available and they should be sending those checks out to you.